Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, light warriors, old souls, and evolving beings. So nice to be back with you. I finally have internet. It's been a crazy 4 months. I have been to so many different places, some by choice, some by divine intervention, and mostly it's all been involved in anchoring in the light for our new earth grids. So, anybody who's talking about doom and gloom, they are more than welcome to, but that is not our life, you light warriors out there. We have come so far, and although you may not see it directly in front of you at this moment, we have made phenomenal progress. So, what a perfect day, 111. You know, I love my 11s, to be able to come back to you and join you to talk a little bit about what's happening with the energy, what we have successfully done, and where we're going. So please keep an open mind because, yes, although I'm a trained psychologist, yes, I have been through the system, we have to embrace our galactic beings and heritage. This is the reason why there is so much mental illness out there, because we have been so lied to, we have nothing to anchor in on. And I have a bunch of recordings that need to be downloaded and put together, that I was able to do along the way, but I simply did not have internet that could handle the uploads. So I'm hoping to be in one place for a few months and to be able to get the information out to you and maybe even start to interact a little more. At some point, I will update you, all of you listeners, at Buzzsprout because there's a fan mail section and we can interact there. But I'll give you more of that information as we go forward. So, the most important thing to realize is that when massive transformation is taking place, and our collective has agreed upon, whether you've said it out loud or you realize it or not, to move into unity consciousness, oneness, everything has to change. Mother Earth has already made the progress and huge leaps. And what has had to happen is that so many of us starseeds, so many of the way showers, the grid workers, the light workers, you name it, have all been, as I've said before, anchored and positioned in certain places to be able to download the information that comes in. Now, I would be lying if I said this was easy because it has been a roller coaster since July of last year. I think it was around the 17th. Because the amount of energy that it takes, again, even if you don't know that you're doing it, the amount of energy that it takes to sustain and bring in the new light codes is astronomical. And it can leave you wiped out for 12, 14, 15 hours at a time. So, again, I always say that if you're exhausted, don't immediately run to pharmaceuticals. You may not be depressed. There may not be anything wrong with you. You may just be a grid worker. And I assure we're feeling it. So if you look up on the screen on the upper left-hand side, I believe this was October 11th. This is one of the ways that you can see what's happening with the energy. When things are calm, it's all green, low bars. When the energy is moving and changing, whether you see it on the Schumann or the KP index, this one happens to be my favorite. It's the HP 3060. I will get around to posting where I find these things, but it takes me a little time to do that. And I really want to get this message out because in the United States, obviously, we are moving into the elections and the energy is so stirred. But let me finish this concept first. When transformation is happening as a collective, and we have decided to move into this unity consciousness, what happens is we are all making sacrifices in the way that we are letting go of what we used to know to bring in the new world, to bring in the new earth. And you want to think of it as anchoring in ultimate divine truth. Now, I know there are parallel realities. Yes, we can go through all the information that's out there, holographic universe, universes upon universes, etc. But the point that many are at, you may have awakened, you may be starting to awaken, is the fact that we must embrace our galactic, angelic, ascended master selves in order to lock in this transformation. It's the same way that I talk about whenever I do healing with people. I always remind them, you got to lock it in. We have to lock it in. We did all this work. Now we have to lock it in. And that's where we are right now. And whenever there's birth, rebirth, it always ends in death first. Death then equals transformation. But this creates huge amount of chaos because those people who are not awake, who have no idea of what's going on, can act totally insane. And we are working in systems that are so broken, they have to be completely removed. So now, careful, what I'm going to say could trigger some people, but please, I am saying it with love and with an open heart, and I just want you to be aware. In the United States, as this election approaches, you may once again not get the results that you think you're going to get. And this is going to cause some ultimate chaos and infighting. They want us divided. So I want you to change your mindset to thinking that the political system is broken and over. In 2018, the transformation started behind the scenes. We do have a beautiful space force. We are joined and connected, and the light has won. So even though you may not be able to see it, and even though you may think this is pure science fiction or bull, I want you to go into your heart and think about this. It does not matter what shows up on screens for voting. It's all been decided. It's all going to be worked through. It's all illusions that need to come to the forefront so that those people who are still really not awake get to choose to go to another 3D planet that is not evolved. You know, I'm going the evolvement way. You know, I'm working from the 14th dimension in a physical body. And there are so many of us, even higher dimensions, angelic, star families, you name it. We are so watched over that the only thing that can stop you, like I've said before, is your ego mind or fear. Do not allow any energy to go into chaos or into division. We have anchored, and if you choose to join, focus on a life free of conflict, a life free of war, peace and ease and flow. And pay attention around you. Take a look at where you're at. Because what you see in front of you and around you, you are creating and or disturbing. So one of the fun parts is that when you do get into just being in peace in the flow, no matter how many times you're forced to move, no matter how many things that are thrown at you that you have to overcome, you will have this incredible sense of peace. And the universe is having a wonderful laugh with me because I'm completely surrounded by mountains, greenery, cows, which I don't know why I'm cow crazy. sheep, pigs. I'm back in Amish country, which is such a pleasure. It's been many, many years. And there is just the most phenomenal energy. So I'm so excited to be able to be back with you to share how all this transformation happens. Now, we as the Earth is still progressing through the Milky Way as we evolve into this higher level. The process from 2025 into 2027, we are integrating our light bodies to become the new human. So, truly, when you hear about all this doomsday stuff and all the deaths, a lot of it is fabricated in the sense that the beings that needed to go are being removed. And those loved ones that we lost, they're not lost. It was their time. They wanted to do something differently. All right. They did not want to go through the day to day of this life. And before you throw in the towel because you're hurt or tired or exhausted or nobody understands you or nobody's with you and the whole world is going to, crazy, absolutely crazy, I want you to think that you are here for a divine reason. You are here to help us anchor in the light. We need all of you. But don't fall back on old habits. So, for example, one of the most difficult things is for many people, I have to get a job. I have to work from 9 to 5. I have to do these things. I have to pay this insurance. I have to do, et cetera, et cetera. Those are all old laws, all ones that are being broken apart. You see, we are meant to live in abundance and prosperity and to live our highest and best, which means finding joy in everything you do. So if you are forcing yourself to continue in jobs that you hate and be with people who just do not vibe with you, then you are not letting go of the old world. And by not letting go of the old world, you are unconsciously agreeing with universe that you have no interest in evolving. So I'm going to be firm here. You must let go of what no longer serves you. Because the only person you're hurting by being kind and letting all these things go by is yourself. And you owe it to yourself to be the best that you can possibly be and to find joy. And joy is coming. Even more abundance is coming. Are the next few months, 4 to 6 months, still going to be rocky? They are, but only if you force them and allow them to control you. So I highly recommend doing a check back in with the things that you're thinking, the things that you're bringing back into your life, the things that you're doing, so that you can rise above. And honestly, I want you to think of Mother Earth flowing through the Milky Way along with the planets connected, as if there's some magnetic force that attaches us and protects us from the great central sun, from Alcyone, from the Pleiades, because these are our new truth divine codings. They are the things that help our light body evolve. You may see your skin getting younger. You may see scars that you used to have start to disappear. But you consciously have to work on this, all right? You set every morning and every night the intention that you are rising above, that you are transforming, that your light body is being integrated, that you are abundant in all things. This is not just monetary. It's in things coming to you without having to work for them, because you are in the flow of universe. And universe just loves to shower you with love if you let it. But the problem is we use our mind, we psych ourselves out, and we're like, oh, this isn't going to happen. Or we convince ourselves of the 100 things that are going to go wrong before just allowing the right things to flow into us. So please be very intentional. Please think very carefully that we are not here to judge another person, not to divide. So when those political conversations come up, you can stop them quickly by not engaging, turning around and saying, you know what? Right at this point, I am just picturing a beautiful humanity. So I'm not going to discuss politics or the games or whatever it may be. And go off and do your beautiful, beautiful gratitudes and bring the purity from the grid that we have worked so hard, I assure you, to get in. Now, these energies, they're going to keep going. So I don't know how much green we're going to honestly see. We're seeing it right now. Things seem to be a little calmer. But the energy has to ramp up. This is a good thing. You want to embrace feeling nauseous, tired, vertigo, too exhausted to move, achy, all of the things. You are going to embrace them because every time that happens, your light body is completely integrating and you are evolving. You are becoming a new human. And this is fantastic. You may feel yourself vibrating 24/7, which I do now all of the time. So sometimes it is so dramatic, it feels like the earth is actually quaking. And you can go back and listen to my earthquake funny story. I also want to remind you that in this transformation, we do have some, big dates coming up. We always have 11/11, which is a huge portal. So we will be moving through that. We have Pluto going into Aquarius probably around the 19th. We're going to probably have another Mercury retrograde. Boy, that one knocked me out. Some of the most amazing things happened. Literally, everything that did not serve in my life just got pulled out from underneath me. Literally just pulled. It was like one shock, and not good ones, one shock after another shock after another shock. And I just was like, okay, clean me up, universe, whatever has to happen. And I remained consistently calm. And of course, when you get through to the other side of it, it's easier to laugh at it. It's easier to smile at it. It's easier to see what it is. So, know these energies are going to be crazy, but more importantly, empower yourself. You are a co-creator. You do bring things into your life. So do not create more of a mess that is needed. I cannot stress that enough. People do not realize that they are creating their own chaos. And a perfect way to do this is the concept that when you go on to, let's say, Telegram or X or any of those groups, and somebody comments, it is like 80% of the responses are actually bots. They're not human beings. This is being controlled. So don't fall for it. Don't allow your heart to go through the gyrations of, oh my goodness, I can't believe that person said this. And oh, I feel so bad. Just stop yourself and go look at a sunset. Go listen to the ocean, meaning even if it has to be through a music video. Go listen to megahertz healing tones, whatever, go drumming, whatever you can do, don't play their game. Because anything that you anchor into that old 3D earth is going to come back to bite you. Anything that you do out of pure love, pure light, pure caring and compassion for another person You're going to see it finally, exponentially by March, April. Let's hope sooner, just come to fruition for you. But you have the power. You are the power. So no matter what you hear when it comes to voting day, to whatever, just let it float off your back and know that everything is in order. And when you're thinking everything that you're working on, constantly connect to the highest and best and really think about your great central sun, which is ironic because we literally are getting pulled through as a unit. And I came across some information about the three suns, which made me laugh so hard because if you go way back, I took some pictures of the three suns and I didn't understand the parallel of it or the reason for it. And as that information becomes more clear, it's fun to see how far we have actually really progressed. So, no doomsday. The people who are choosing to go into the 3D, other realities, other planets, that's up to them. You'll see them again. It won't be right away. It probably will not be in this lifetime, but you'll connect and laugh one day when you realize what you all put each other through. But don't spend time on it now because it only drags you down. All right. I have a bunch of other uploads, information on psychology, attention deficit disorder, more galactic information. And I need to take some time to figure out how I can put it together so that it's the most helpful to everyone out there. If you're a new listener, thank you so much. Subscribe. It helps me out. I will try to be a little more interactive. I haven't opened up new sessions yet, but I'm getting there. I'll think about it and continue to try to get back on and share and kind of hold some hands in the next few months just to keep people really in the right frame of mind, because we do need each other. We do need oneness. We do need to continue to come from heart-centered love. But we've made great progress. Do not, do not fall for the lies. All right. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Have a beautiful and glorious day. Love you.